Hey, recording this video to close trade Friday 23rd of August 2013. Hope you had a great day's trading. Well, I took a couple of days off. Didn't trade Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesday because of the FOMC, and then Thursday I was out kind of late. But anyway, Friday was a good day's trading. And now we put in our daily support on the E-mini. We got 1.1 million contracts traded. We had a bit of a fast yesterday with the Nasdaq down for 3 hours or something like that. Just extraordinary. But anyway, so this daily support's come in, and wouldn't you know, I always say wait for the trend moves in lower time frames to sync up with the cycle moves on the higher time frames, and there we go. The 45-minute chart was saying this move wouldn't be over until we get confirmation with a little pullback to end of trend move here that synced up with this cyclical support on the daily chart. And we had all kinds of good stuff on that 45-minute chart, exhaustion, selling, blue professional bars kind of coming with that huge volatility around FOMC. We had less and less buying with bullish divergence patterns, all of those things. And there we go, we kind of bounced from there. However, we have to get past resistance on the 135-minute chart. We got this gap that's kind of sitting there, and we've got this resistance level, cyclical resistance, that'll play in over the next few days. So let's see, that'll be kind of the test. We bounced off the daily support, which shows there's still some kind of strength. If we kind of made the daily support and then kind of come down and just played around that support level, it shows how weak it is. But let's see, we could bounce back down when resistance comes in on the 135-minute chart and test that support again. But just have to wait and see. That'll come in at some point. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for resistance on the upside. But so far we've not found blue professional bars kind of coming in and taking profits. I think that's going to be nearer that kind of closing the gap type area. And in terms of better X trend, so we broke into this downtrend last time, saying I think this is an important level, 1700, and now what we're doing is we're coming back. I call this kind of under the lip. So we've kind of had our initial breakthrough. We're testing back into that zone. So according to better X trend, 1693 is kind of the key level here. Obviously that kind of closing the gap type level around here will be absolutely key. So let's see if we get a couple of blue exhaustion up bars, and then the professionals come in and they kind of force it down. That will be the real signal, and a breakthrough. This low that we made over the last couple of days will be the absolute critical one. So let's see, we're in that kind of zone where we have to see the strength of the sellers come in order to kind of justify the downtrend to continue. And just like the 45-minute chart syncing up with the 40,500 tip bar chart, pullback to end of trend went off on that 40,500 tip bar chart. It was pretty violent. This is the activity on FOMC. We had a huge ramp, a huge decline, but Rambo patterns into there and a flush pattern, cyclical support holds, bang, we kind of break to the upside here. So that's what I'm looking at. Again, on the upside here, this kind of level, 1685, the breakdown level is kind of absolutely key. Let's see if we see blue professional bars kind of come in, if we get an exhaustion pattern or something like that to kind of stop this move on the way up. In terms of trading, I had some nice trades today. I actually put on my best trade was kind of pre-open. And what I want to show you is how to wait for cyclical support on all time frames to start lining up. As soon as you got that, you got big moves that kind of come along. So and they could be breaking either way depending on where the exhaustion patterns are. So kind of wait, you almost need to wait for all the cyclical patterns to align, and that's when you get kind of the biggest bang, the biggest moves. And there was a couple of nice ones kind of pre-open and after this decline as well. So I'm going to try and show you those on these three different time frames, my day trading charts, 4,500, 1,500 and 500. So the first one was a pre-open trade. I got kind of long with both of these. I was long into them as they were starting to break out, but they're still going to travel if they're kind of trending moves, so I'm not too worried about that. But I'll show you the little kind of sign to show to jump into those. So the first one, 4,500 tip bar chart, came after support was in. Actually, I had a couple of short trades in here that never really kind of worked out. But I took two chunks long trades out of here. So another one, 2, came after cyclical support was in, kind of later after we'd had this kind of sell-off. So look for that. We had cyclical support in both of those areas on the 4,500 tip bar chart. Now going down to the 1,500 tip bar chart, you can see kind of pre-open we had cyclical support was in as well on that first trade, and we had blue professional bars kind of coming in on the retrace. They took profits during this move here, during that exhaustion move, but on these little dips, the blue professional bars were coming in at the dips, so waiting for that pattern to go into an exhaustion pattern. So that was my best one for 4 long 55.75 out at 59.75. And then we couldn't get through the lows kind of after this decline. It was a big move down, and it didn't end in exhaustion selling on the downside, but it did have a Rambo pattern here, and I always say Rambo patterns on 1500, I'm always kind of wary of those. I was still holding short through this whole move here, but it wasn't till the end of trend kind of came in that I jumped out of that trade. It was a losing trade for 1 1/4, but immediately went long after here. Actually went long twice into this move, into this exhaustion pattern here. One at 55.15, one at 57 even, out just for 1 point and 2.5 points. But that was kind of good enough for me. So on this time frame, again, cyclical support is in after we put in pullback to end of trend. So we're waiting for that kind of exhaustion pattern to kind of and ride that move up, and then going down to the 500 tip bar chart. So this is the pre-open. Here we'd broken into an uptrend. Pullback to end of trend had gone in, but on these little dips, you can see there's the blue professional bars kind of coming in at the dips. So I wasn't too worried about kind of buying the breakout, if you like. I was waiting for a fraction of a little bit of weakness, but as soon as those blue professional bars kind of came in, that kind of shows that we've got support and a trend move that ends with exhaustion patterns here. And then the last two came in at supports here. So support was in, we were breaking back up above this channel, we come back again, another blue professional bar kind of comes in here, another little blue professional bar in here, and these little moves up on the upside are kind of good. I jumped out of this one too early around here, but then when I realized my mistake, I jumped back in again. So just to point out that the biggest moves come when everything kind of syncs up. Cycles all kind of moving together. In this case, it was support levels that were all kind of holding. If the support levels are hold, that's when you get big trend moves the other way. So look for those areas of confluence where they all kind of come together, because that's when you get the strongest moves. Anyway, I'll tag on that first one, and hope your trading went well. Might do a video this weekend on gold and silver and some of the other markets. We did get the break in the euro. It's kind of hanging around at 134, which is kind of the key level. And gold and silver, though, looking kind of healthy for breakouts that I've been kind of telegraphing a little bit. Yen's fallen off, but it's hanging around. It's not like it's diving into a downtrend. It's just not got through that 1.025 level that I was talking about. Anyway, hope your trading is going well. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. It's just gone long 55.75. Long 55.75. And the reason getting long, we're breaking out of triple supports, just coming up to 7 AM, just after 7 AM Chicago time. We've got triple supports, one on 4,500, one on 15, and we had a nice little pullback to end of trend on the 500. So that little end of trend move, there you can see the end synced up with this support on the 4,500 tip bar chart, and then we started kind of racing up. So we've broken above resistance here. And then on this little pullback, you can see all these blue professional bars kind of come in, and we're broken above the highs of that, so we're above the highs here. So putting this on kind of before the open, expecting a little bit of strength. So let's see if we get a bit of a run after yesterday's strength, kind of continuing up until we get a full exhaustion during the opening kind of session today. So long 55.75. Let's see how this goes in the next hour or so. Well, it's pretty quiet before the open, so we got it to 57s. Still holding on. Got an exhaustion pattern here, but we've also got blue professional bars kind of coming through resistance here on 1500. So it could be kind of jumping the creek. This is in an uptrend. We've got to see pullback to end of trend. Not kind of exhaustion buying yet, but let's see. Target's up here above 59, so still holding. Well, we've got to 7 1/4. It's about 20 minutes before the open. We've got pullback to end of trend's about to go off. This last kind of push down, blue professional bars kind of stepped in at the low. Got a little bit of time to run before we get some kind of resistance on 4,500, so my inclination is to hold it. So let's see if we get a little pop back up through 7s. Excellent. Just out 59.75. On this flurry of activity, come up to exhaustion patterns, 13,000, better momentum, 1500 tip bar chart, a whole bunch of blue professional bars kind of coming in at 10 minutes before the open. This is good. One shot, one kill, all done before the open, so Just going to watch it for a while.